Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Martin and welcome to 2K Central. So only 2 more videos until the release of Mafia 3, can you believe it? I can't. So I asked you guys a question in a previous video. What are you most excited about? I decided to put together a full list of the 10 things we as a community are excited for. Number 1, a unique setting. So when anyone asks me about the Mafia series, this is one of the first things I bring up is the unique location and time each game is based in. It's very rare that a developer allows us to explore their fictional version of real cities during the 1940s or 1960s. It adds so much atmosphere and seriously sets the series apart from every other crime-centered game. And Mafia 3 being based in 1968 and Hangar 13's fictional version of New Orleans is a unique time and place I cannot wait to explore and experience for myself. The year 1968 alone was an extremely turbulent year in American history, with the assassination of Martin Luther King. To have the ability to experience these events and the civil rights movement from Lincoln's perspective has me very interested to see how these moments in history are presented in the game. And ultimately, if we see any change in the atmosphere and tension after these events take place. Number 2, the soundtrack. Now we can't mention this unique setting without talking about the music that is going to be in this game. The soundtrack features 101 songs from the era that each help set the tone for Lincoln Clay's journey through the game. Throughout our time in New Bordeaux, we will hear everything from classic rock, country, soul, rhythm and blues. And along with this amazing soundtrack, the game also captures the sound and feel of New Bordeaux through its own original game score. Honestly, it looks like it's going to be one of the best soundtracks in gaming, in my opinion. Number 3, the story and overall conflict. I guess there's going to be a little story breakdown. So the game revolves around Lincoln Clay, an orphan and outcast who seeks a family and a place to belong. Lincoln eventually finds his place with Sammy Robinson and the Black Mob. For a time he lives a life of crime but eventually leaves for Vietnam, serves in the war, returns with the mindset to move away from the criminal world, only to learn that Sammy, the one person to treat him like a son, owes Sal Marcano money. Lincoln is honor bound and agrees to help Sammy and Sal with a heist at a Federal Reserve. The debt is paid, but the greedy Sal Marcano sees this as a perfect moment to take out the competition. The Black Mob are betrayed, Lincoln is shot in the head, but lives, and sets out a quest of vengeance against Sal Marcano by destroying his criminal empire and building his own upon the ashes. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what will. And moving on to number 4, the documentary style of storytelling. So as we all know, this game's story will be presented in the form of a documentary. The game will jump back and forth from a more modern day timeline in which characters like John Donovan, Father James and the Detective McGuire talk about the events of 1968. These characters will set up what happened during Lincoln Clay's war with the Marcanos. It will then cut to 1968 in which we play through the events as Lincoln himself. But why this is so brilliant, it allows us to see things from everyone's perspective. Everything we do with Lincoln Clay will cause a reaction from someone in New Bordeaux, may it be the people, Sal Marcano himself, the government, and if we damage Sal Marcano's criminal empire by killing a key member of his family, we will in turn see how he reacts to that person's death, and we'll get a hint towards how Sal will respond to these actions in the near future. So honestly, this form of storytelling has me so excited because we see things from both sides. This isn't just the story of Lincoln Clay's rise, but it's also a story of Sal Marcano's fall. And we get to see it all. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, it just happened. Number 5, the dynamic between our underbosses. Now this is one of the most exciting things about Mafia 3 is the relationship between Lincoln and our underbosses Cassandra, Burke and Vito, who all happen to have a negative history with one another and have come together under the promise of power, riches and most importantly, respect. So at first, it's very much an uneasy alliance. This allowed Hangar 13 to set up player choices by giving us the option to improve or destroy these relationships. By adding a new exciting feature to the Mafia series, the sit-downs. When we eliminate all key members of the Italian Mafia within a specific district, we're presented with the sit-down, where Lincoln literally sits down with his underbosses to discuss who should run the recently captured racket or district. During the discussion, they will all offer unique in-game perks and bonuses. Their friendship with Lincoln is completely based on these choices. So as an example, if Cassandra isn't earning enough money, she will betray Lincoln and you'll be forced to kill her. In turn, you lose her perks and ultimately it will affect how your story plays out. So basically, the more money you give them, the more they like you, just like women. Sorry, another bad joke. But the stakes being so high makes it really exciting. I can't wait for the sit-downs with our underbosses. Number 6, exploring the open world. Now the combination of music, the overall setting, and the theme of the game contributes to the open world massively. But the game has 10 unique districts and each have their own style, and supposedly feel different from one another. Now, in comparison to other games, the map isn't massive, which may annoy some people, but having a large map with very little to do or see isn't always a good thing. The only downside is there doesn't seem to be a variety of things to do in this open world, apart from shooting, killing, more killing, and driving. But I'm still extremely excited to explore this map and see what it has to offer. Number 7, multiple endings. Now, I know some people will be a little iffy on multiple endings in general, as the majority of developers that sell their game on being choice based and having multiple endings tend to have one true ending and 3 others that are less meaningful and feel kind of tacked on. But since I've seen the possibilities of straight up killing one of your underbosses, the promise of multiple endings for Mafia 3 seems pretty legit, and the major positive is it brings replayability. As one example, we have the option to keep all of our underbosses alive and kill all of the racket bosses. Or another example, we can choose to keep only Vito alive, which a lot of you are doing, and choosing to keep all of the racket bosses alive. This will undeniably affect how your game plays out, so personally that gives me an extra incentive to play the game multiple times to see how things play out based on who you keep alive. But will the game have endings that are all of the same quality? I don't know, I guess we'll find out on Friday, or Sunday or Monday when we finish the game. Number 8, killing the KKK. Yes, the clan are in Mafia 3, and oddly it has almost everyone excited, because as Link and Clay, it means that we can chase down a bunch of races. So that means the clan will not be OKKK when we're done. Huh? Did you like that one? Sorry, that was possibly the worst joke I've ever told on this channel. I'm just going to move on. Number 9, the driving and cars. Now, the selection of vehicles to choose from in Mafia 3 has absolutely everyone excited. Now, one of the major things that stood out from Mafia 2 is the driving. It's honestly unique from most open world games. That Hangar 13 have brought back simulation driving in some capacity and made it one of 2 options, along with arcade driving for new people to the series. I just can't wait to drive around this open world listening to that amazing soundtrack. Number 10, I couldn't leave it out, what you guys are most excited about. The reveal of what happened to Joe. I think almost every fan of Mafia 2 wants the truth in regards to what happened to our longtime best friend, Joe, at the end of the game. Leo Galante left us with these difficult words.
Hey, what the hell's going on? Where they taking Joe?
Sorry, kid. Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Ever since, we've had one question: what happened to Joe, which we've received non-stop throughout this year. And Hangar 13 have promised if you side with Vito and help him out with some side missions, your long-awaited question will finally be answered. And it may even raise new ones, which is quite curious. I can't wait. But yeah, that is the list. We have some honorable mentions, using a variety of different weapons, eventually customization, collecting Playboy mags, throwing Tony DeRezzo off the Royal Hotel, Burke's accent, making Trump jokes aimed at Uncle Lou, Mafia 1 and 2 references, hearing from Leo Galante again, having multiple approaches to each mission, and finally, learning who Lincoln's parents are. But yeah guys, that is the end of the video. This is my final Mafia 3 video before launch. So thank you to all 19,000 of you for subbing and choosing to watch 2 dudes that are only talking about a series they love. Maybe that is the beauty of this thing. And whatever the next hype train happens to be after Mafia 3, I hope you guys join us for that one too. It's been a pleasure, good sirs and gals. I won't be talking to you until Friday, so I really hope you guys love this game and it turns out to be as good as we've been talking about. And you know what time it is, it's time for my cheesy outro. Thank you so much for watching. For the last time from me, Mafia 3 will be released October 7th on Xbox One, PS4 and PC. But I'll be saying this for quite some time. For more Mafia related content, stay tuned here on 2K Central. God, that's so cheesy. But take it easy guys and enjoy the game. I love you. Bye bye.
Everything's absolutely splendid.
Walking down the street.